Joan.
G'day. How's it going?
Long day. Be glad to get the weight off my feet.
Oh? The job's starting to get to you. I thought you'd been doing it all right lately, you know, getting a bit extra.
Hey, look, I don't know who's been talking, but there's nothing going on between me and Barbara.
Lover boy, I wasn't talking about your sex life. That's only one of the perks of this job. I was referring to your gambling arrangement. Now, don't worry, I won't say anything.
I suppose you can't trust any of these women to keep their mouths shut.
Depends how you handle them. I was getting my cut of the bookies' takings before you took over.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll back off.
No need to. Plenty of money floating around the prison. I'm sure there's enough for both of us.
You reckon? I didn't think there was that much. I only pick up a bit of beer money
That's
here.
Because you don't push it. I picked up $2,000 from a prisoner one week.
$2,000? Well, who had that kind of money?
Hey, never mention names. You know that. Well, what do you think?
Joan, you got a deal.
Miss Ferguson, I wonder if you could give me a hand, please.
What is it? Is that all?
I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to. I'm only delivering.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson.
Morning, Mrs. Powell.
Thanks. Yeah, I know, but she's been doing typesetting work here. Yeah, I'm sure she'll fit in well. Okay, mate, thanks very much. I'll buy you a beer next time I see you, eh? Okay, thanks. Bye.
Smith?
Yeah, I've managed to get her a job.
I don't know why you bother. She can't handle life on the outside. She'll either stuff it up or make a run for it, you'll see.
You're probably right.
I am right, so why bother?
Smith's top dog. It pays to have her on side.
Smith's not the kind of woman you can buy off with a few cigarettes and chocolate bars.
You know about that too?
Of course I do. There's not much goes on in here that I don't know about. What I don't understand is how you can make a profit out of it.
Well, of course I do, and the prison pays for the stuff in the first place. Why do you think I asked to be put in charge of the stores?
It's a bit risky, isn't it? And any discrepancy in the stock take, it'll be traced right back to you.
The stock will be as right as rain for the next 6 months. After that, they're going to have to catch me somewhere in the middle of the Pacific.
Damn.
What was that? John Laws with indigestion?
No, I've just paid out a fortune for a set of science lecture tapes and the bloody machine's packed up.
Maybe it's the batteries.
If they are, we'll have to let the electricity board know.
Well, if you need one urgently, I got one you can borrow.
Really? I wouldn't say no.
Sure, it's in the car. Just had it repaired. I'll bring it in later.
Great, thanks a lot.
Wow. If looks could kill.
There'll be more dead prostitutes on the street.
You don't think Neil's the killer, do you?
Someone from the prison is. He stole my gloves to set me up. He's as likely a suspect as anyone.
Could have been me.
You were on duty the night the murders were committed.
I'm glad you checked. Anyway, it might not be a man. I've noticed Mrs. Davidson lately taking a few swigs from Dr. Jekyll's herbal compound.
You might think it's a joke, but I don't. In this business, the crims are always trying to set you up for something. I've learned never to trust anyone. And believe me, it's paid off.
Miss Ferguson? I'd like to have a word with you.
You are?
I want my papers back, and I'm prepared to pay for them.
What with?
Your job.
You're not making much sense, Fields.
If I tell you what I know, will you give me the papers back?
All right. If I think it's worth it.
B. Smith's running a racket with Mr. Faulkner to get buy-up goods for the women.
So what?
All the goods come through the buy-up order.
I didn't think Mr. Faulkner paid for them out of his own pocket. That's yesterday's news, Fields.
Yeah, well, whatever kind of deal it is, Mrs. Morris and Mrs. Powell are in on it, too. It's true. Mrs. Morris helped him carry the stuff in, and Mrs. Powell countersigned the requisition. And I overheard B. Smith mention something about a setup. Miss Ferguson? Well, what about my papers?
Come in.
Excuse me, Governor. I must see you for a moment. It's very important.
Certainly, Miss Ferguson. What is it?
It seems that some of the women have had a large amount of cigarettes and buy-up goods lately. Far too much, considering that you stopped buy-up for a week as punishment.
Oh?
And I've been keeping my ear to the ground, and frankly, I'm shocked at what I've found out.
And what is that?
God knows how long they've been getting away with it. Governor, I don't like reporting fellow officers, but obviously something must be done about it. It seems that 2 of the officers, including the Deputy Governor herself, have been stealing goods from the prison and selling them to the women.
Accusations, Miss Ferguson.
Oh, don't worry, Governor. I've got a lot of facts as well. Mr. Faulkner first. Now, he's involved in 2 areas: bookmaking and the abuse of his position as purchasing officer for the women's buy-up goods.
How can you be sure?
Well, he offered me a cut from his bookmaking profits.
I see.
He also suggested that I might be interested in the proceeds from the other racket.
What do you think is going on?
Well, for a start, he's faking orders for supplies to replace stock.
That would be very difficult to prove.
Oh, yes, I know that. He's also involved some of the prisoners who'll probably talk in time.
They may.
It doesn't really matter much if they don't. One of the orders was countersigned by Mrs. Powell. Of course, the Deputy Governor could have been taken in by Mr. Faulkner. She does have a great many forms to sign, doesn't she?
We don't know that anyone has been taken in yet, Miss Ferguson. That will take a great deal of investigation.
Yes, and I can help with that, Governor. Mrs. Morris is also involved. Quite heavily, in fact.
Why do you think Mr. Faulkner approached you, Miss Ferguson?
Oh, I really have no idea, Governor. Now, would you like me to take this further? I could accept a payoff and clinch things if you like.
No, I don't think that will be necessary. In fact, I think it would be better if we kept this between ourselves for the time being.
Yes, of course, Governor.
That will be all for the moment.
That's it, B. Your work release is operational first thing in the morning.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Faulkner, very much.
Make the most of it.
The Governor would like a word with you, Mr. Faulkner.
Thanks.
That's all right. Work release, eh, Smith?
Yes.
The place won't be the same without you.
Oh, don't worry, you'll make friends with someone else soon enough. You know how all the girls love you. That bitch will be laughing on the other side of her face soon.
What do you mean?
Oh, you'll find out. When she does.
I don't understand how Joan could have been that cunning. It's impossible.
What she did was take what you have said and done and report it literally.
Yeah, but why? I had a reading out of my hand.
We'll have to bring the whole scheme out into the open now.
Oh, no, we won't. The whole thing is out of hand as it is.
You went along with it. You signed one of the purchase
Yes.
orders.
More's the pity. But I don't intend to be made a fool of.
We've all been fools. She outsmarted us.
Oh, of course, she might have had help. I don't think she could have done it on her own.
No, and I've got a fair idea who it was, too.
Oh, going to set a trap for them as well?
There might be worse places to start.
Now, calm down, both of you. There's no point in plunging into an area where there's only suspicion and no proof. Mrs. Morris, what do you have to say?
Only that I feel as much to blame as Steve.
Why's that?
Well, it was my suspicions that started the whole business.
Well, regardless of whose fault it is, we're going to have Mr. Douglas on our doorstep any moment.
Well, I suggest we say nothing until we've sorted it out amongst ourselves.
Well, that's not possible. Miss Ferguson has entered her report on the confidential reports register, together with the official file number and date. It's the first thing he will see.
What are you up to?
I just came in to get this. It's a bit chilly in reception.
It's a bit chilly all round for some people today.
All right, I've helped you. And what about your part of the deal?
Well, you've been noticed by Mr. Douglas. That's a very good start to an early parole.
Yes, but that only happened by accident. What about the deal we agreed on?
You drive a hard bargain, Fields, for someone in your position.
I took it on trust. You keep your word.
Is that what you wanted? Oh, it's all there to make sure you're not taken down by your business partner or your solicitor. Did you want the original or the copy?
What?
Insurance, Fields. to make sure I'm not taken down by my business partner.
You think of everything, don't you?
I try to. So, if you ever get the idea of telling anybody how you helped me, I can always tell them how you've been helping yourself. Oh, and don't fret, Fields. We make a great business combination.
Nowhere to be found, I'm afraid.
I'm not surprised. The guard at the gatehouse saw him leave over an hour ago.
I've been through the examination room. There's nothing else suspicious there.
Wentworth Detention Centre. Yeah, Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, thank you. Erica Davidson. I see. How? Well, I'll get onto it straight away, thank you. Latham's gone missing from the hospital.
How could she? He didn't need so much organisation and help.
Well, apparently she had both. Somebody decoyed the doctor and the police guard, and she slipped away.
I wonder if the accomplice could be the missing Mr. Murray.
Why on earth would you think that?
You should have seen his reaction when I told him Latham was involved with prostitution.
So you think he could have turned against Chrissy? Well, he's certainly in a position to know how a hospital works and to get her out of there.
Yeah, and if he has, she is in a lot of trouble.
Well, well, you're back. Too bad the honeymoon's over.
Just go away, please.
What's the matter, Latham? Didn't you enjoy your little outing?
Leave me alone. You wouldn't understand.
They tell me your boyfriend turned out to be a psycho. You should have known. Nobody in their right minds would want you. Maybe you'll be a little more careful who you pick next time.
I make bleeding sure I never pick anyone as vicious and as rotten as you bitch. I'd sooner be dead.
You nearly were, Latham. You very nearly were. But then, of course, I don't suppose anyone would have missed you.
Here, bus fares, $2.50 lunch.
Bango's lunch at the Hilton.
Sign?
Aren't you to me not to spend it all in one place?
Morning, all. Well, another day at the fun factory.
Not much fun without Mr. Faulkner.
That's enough, Smith.
You reckon? I think it's a shame someone else didn't resign instead of him.
Oh, sounds like he's already left. Oh, pity. I really quite liked him. I would have liked to have said goodbye.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I don't know what you're implying, Smith, but Faulkner was doing deals with prisoners, and we can't have that, can we?
You too.
That is enough. I don't want to hear another word on this subject from anyone.
Suits me. I've got work to do.
One day that big dyke is going to outsmart herself.
No, Smith, that is enough. Now, go on, get a move on or you'll miss your bus.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Powell. You know damn well you can't stand her any more than the rest of us can.
Mrs. Ward is waiting.
Oh, all right, I'm going.
Aren't you, Peg?
Yep.
What little mischief are we dreaming up now,
We're just
Birdsworth?
talking about the concert.
What concert?
Mrs. Powell's organising it.
Yeah, we often do them for charities.
And you're trying to drum up talent amongst this lot?
You'd be surprised. We've done
Shut
all
up,
sorts of...
Birdsworth. I'm sure Mrs. Powell didn't instruct you to start rehearsing when you're supposed to be working. Now get on with what you're being paid to do.
Hey, that's a laugh, innit?
Women tell me you're organising a concert.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson thought it might be a good idea.
Huh? Thought you said that sort of thing had always been a trouble in the past.
Security will be very tight this time.
Well, I wish you luck.
Don't you sound skeptical?
Personally, I find it quite distasteful for women like Birdsworth to be humiliating themselves in public.
Actually, Lizzie is the most enthusiastic so far. Mind you, if I let the others know that the concert is being held in conjunction with the male prisoners at Woodridge, I'm sure I'd be inundated with volunteers.
Oh, now you're really asking for trouble.
Well, that's precisely why I don't want them to know just yet. If I only get the women who are interested in working, I'm sure it could be a success.
I'm sure you'll see to it that it is.
Would be nice.
Gaffney? You've been keeping your nose clean?
Let's just say I've been keeping out of trouble.
Oh, I thought you'd be having a field day with Smith out of here for most of the day.
She doesn't worry me.
Doesn't she? And perhaps you'd like a little diversion while she's not here to spoil things for you.
What did you have in mind?
Concert group?
I'm not getting involved in that load of crap.
Oh, I thought that going to Woodridge and working among the men would interest you, Gaffney.
Are you serious?
I hear they've written a script with 6 female roles. Now you interested?
Oh, yeah, I'm interested.
Thought you might be. But keep it to yourself for the moment.
Sure, Miss Ferguson. I guess that's one I owe you.
Don't worry. It's already on the slate.
Stevens, but what about the show? Why don't you give that a try? Be in that.
She's working overtime, isn't she?
Yeah. She's going to get a real good pat on the back if everything goes well, not like us who are doing all the hard yakka.
All right. Okay, everyone. Now, I still don't have enough people for this concert. Come on, I thought more of you'd be interested. Is there anyone who'd like to change their mind?
Yep. Me and Ronnie and Lil want to be in it.
What, the 3 of you?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, well, we do need people for costumes and scenery.
No, listen, we don't want to lug scenery around. We want to be in it. Yeah. I used to be a stripper. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da.
That's enough, Gaffney, come on.
Well, are you going to put us on the list or not?
Yeah, all right.
Yes, Governor. You wanted to see me?
Yes, Miss Ferguson, come in. I was talking to Mr. Douglas this afternoon, and he did make a suggestion. As Mrs. Morris is away at the moment, you will be acting as Deputy 2IC to Mrs. Powell.
I understand she's going to be very tied up with this concert business.
Yes, she'll be spending quite a lot of time at Woodridge, but this is only a temporary measure until Mrs. Morris returns from leave.
Of course. Thank you, Governor.
Wordsworth?
Right here, Mrs. Powell.
Gaffney? Oh, God, where is Gaffney? Her 2 shadows are missing as well.
They're probably out waiting in the van. They can't wait to get in with the Blakes.
Do you think that's funny, Lawson?
Perhaps you'd prefer to stay behind, Lawson. Sure we can find something suitable for you to do.
Look, I have already warned all of you about there being any trouble at Woodridge.
Mrs. Powell, I think you're just asking for trouble, taking women like Hunt and Lawson along. Perhaps a stint in the pound to teach them to behave themselves.
Lawson, you have lost all privileges until after the concert's over. Shepherd?
What about Hunt?
Yes, OK, Hunt, what is your attitude? Do you see this outing as a chance to have a go at the male prisoners?
Well, after all this time, not going to be easy to ignore him, is it?
Oh, you are hopeless. Heather, get an officer to take Hunt back inside. She's not going. Miss Ferguson, would you please get Gaffney, Stokes and Kennedy?
Of course.
All right, ladies, now listen to me. All of you. You may see this trip to Woodridge as just a load of fun and games, but it is very important. Now, look, I'm not saying you're not going to have your fun. That's all part of it. But you're not only going to be performing for friends and relatives. The money will go to charity.
Oh, Prisoners' Aid Fund, I hope.
You will be doing a special performance for the Driscoll House. So, if any of you are thinking of messing it up, Judy Bryant, and perhaps you, if you need the house in the future, will be the only ones missing out, nobody else.
Oh, we'll be real good, Mrs. Powell. Don't you worry.
Good. Pleased to hear it. OK. Come on, let's enjoy ourselves, and I look forward to seeing how things progress.
Oh, help me! Oh, please help me!
What's wrong, Dempster? What happened?
That woman, Gaffney, she and the others poured hot coffee over me.
I asked you what happened, Dempster, not who did it. You got any idea what the women in here will do to you if they find out you're a lagger?
Lagger?
Telltale.
But they've hurt me.
Then you must have done something to upset them. For your own sake, keep your mouth shut. Officer Hall, ring the emergency doctor. Dempster's had an accident.
She better bloody well tell the screws it was an accident, otherwise she'll really find out what a good bashing's all about.
You three are supposed to be in reception. Outside.
We were just on our way, Miss
But
Ferguson.
there was something you had to do before you left, eh, Gaffney?
I don't know what you mean.
I just saw Dempster. She's been burned.
Gee, that's bad luck.
It's time you and I evened the score, Gaffney.
What do you mean?
Well, I should put you on a report for what you've done to Dempster.
I never did nothing. I didn't even know about
Come on, Gaffney, lie to the others, but not to me. I'm sure Dempster would be only too pleased to tell me who was involved.
What am I supposed to do?
That's better. I want you to see that that concert doesn't succeed.
What?
Maybe a stint in solitary will improve your hearing, Gaffney.
Well, what am I supposed to bloody do?
You've never been short of ideas. I'm sure you'll think of something.
Yeah? And what if I don't?
Stupid question. To which I think you know the answer.
Story. Apparently, Latham's attack was very carefully planned. She's accused several people.
Are they being charged?
Well, I imagine so. The police are handling it.
And what will happen to Chrissy?
I think she's suffered quite enough.
And is the concert to continue?
Well, of course it is. We can't let one incident ruin the whole project.
Governor?
Yes, the project continues.
Well, what about Lawson? Surely you don't condone illicit affairs between the women and the male prisoners.
But there's no proof of that. But there is proof that Lawson showed remarkable courage in defending Chrissy. Now, I don't think she should be punished for that.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Look, the affair with the male prisoner is common gossip among the women. They're laughing at us.
Miss Ferguson, if all decisions were based on common gossip, very few people would be safe, including present company.
Oh, Heather, the governor would like to see you for some dictation. Huh? Well, Fields, how's the job going?
It's fine, thank you.
Good. What have you got for me from the governor's office?
Oh, it's a bit early yet.
Don't, Fields, I'm not in the mood. Now, you've had time to go through everything in that office.
Look, I saved you from that plot of Mr. Faulkner's. What else do you want?
You know what I want, and it's in the governor's office. Now, get it. Unless, of course, you want to find your 3-month sentence being stretched.
You can't.
Can't I? I think the police might still be interested in that contract, don't you?
Hello, it's Barbara. No, listen. Look, I've only got a minute. Shut up, damn you. Look, one of the officers here has got a copy of the contract and is using it for blackmail against me. Her name is Joan Ferguson, and she lives at 27 Station Street, Auburn, right? Well, just do something. She's on duty until 10:30. Thank you, sir. Just an inquiry about visiting hours.
Outside. You heard the concert's to go ahead?
Well, no one said it was going to be off.
What are you going to do about it?
Oh, fair go. Haven't I done enough with today's effort?
No, don't take the blame for every little mishap, Gaffney. You're not the only idiot in this zoo.
Look, I helped set it up.
You didn't do enough. The concert hasn't been affected.
Look, I've done my bit. You can get someone else to stuff it up.
Oh, no. You don't walk out on me. Well, not on 2 good legs, anyway.
Look, you're just one person. I've got all the other women and the other screws to deal with, as well as all the male prisoners. If I bugger up their pet project, there won't be nowhere safe for me to run to.
How safe do you think you are in here? When I'm working nights? When I can get another woman to do me a favour? Don't kid yourself, Gaffney. There isn't anything I couldn't do to you.
You're not too popular with the other screws, but...
You think they'd help you? Steve Faulkner tried to get me and he's gone. Who do you think would put their head in a noose for your hide?
Well, what do you want me to do?
As long as it works, I don't care.
But I can't think of nothing.
You used to be on the stage. A stripper, I believe.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
boy, where are you? Come on, fella. Hello?
Yeah, okay. Fine.
Morning, Mr. Langdon.
I'll call you back. Morning, Brendan. What have you got for me?
I hope it's all here, whatever you're after.
Any trouble?
No, except for the dog. I had to give it a rat bait sandwich. That slowed him down a bit.
And you took other things apart from these papers?
Oh, yes, just like you said. Made it look as though kids had broke in. Just a few odds and sods.
Ah. Right, what's this? Diaries, eh? Bet they make interesting reading. Memoirs of a bent screw, eh?
Could I trouble you for the money, Mr. Langdon? Mr. Langdon? The money?
Yes, of course. Yeah? You've done a good job here, Brendan. Very good.
Right, Fields, get to your cell.
What?
You heard me. Move.
Yes, but I've got to finish this.
I just gave you an order. Now, you obey or you're on a charge. Come on, I said move.
But you're not telling me what this is all about.
Just shut up and move.
I've got a right to know why I'm being treated like this.
You've got a right to nothing.
Now what?
I'm going to search your cell.
For God's sake, what are you looking for? There's nothing here.
Legal document. Your precious legal document.
How, you've got a copy? What do you want the original for?
That's my business. Now, just give it to me.
You must be joking. Do you think I'd just hand it over? You want it, you find it.
Perhaps you're carrying it on you.
I'm not.
Oh, Fields, I have a reason to believe that you're hiding something illegal. And that gives me the right to carry out a body search. I'm warning you, Fields. I'm in no mood to muck about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's going on here?
Fields has stolen some files from reception. Clean this mess up, Fields.
Miss Ferguson? What's this about stolen files?
I had information to that effect. It obviously wasn't correct.
Joan, who told you that Fields took those files from reception?
Does it matter?
Yes, I think it does.
Why? Because it offends you to see a prisoner treated with proper discipline?
It's easy to go too far with discipline.
Oh, you think I overdid it?
Well, you certainly didn't act with your usual restraint.
I take it you're going to report me then?
No, of course not.
Why not? If you think I acted improperly, it's your duty to do so.
I didn't say that.
Look, my house was broken into yesterday. A few bits and pieces were stolen to make it look good, but it wasn't your common burglar.
How do you know?
Some of my personal papers are missing. They're of no possible value to anyone else.
Is that what the police think?
Oh, I didn't report it. What's the point? It's 100 robberies a day. They're not liable to get my stuff back. Besides, no one can bring my dog back.
Your dog?
Yeah. He was poisoned by the look of it.
I'm sorry.
I'd had him since he was a pup. So you see, whoever it was out to get at me. Someone who knew that I'd be at work and someone who hated me enough to try and hurt me.
Have you any ideas?
Oh, there's a lot of people fit into that category. You, for example.
Me?
Well, look at it this way. You turn up out of the blue and have a quick look around my house. Even come to the prison to check whether I'm working. You dislike the way I go too far with discipline. And Steve Faulkner's little plot fails. Of course I knew about that. It was so damned obvious.
I am not in the habit of breaking into people's houses, yours or anybody else's.
Right. Then I'll cross you off my list of suspects.
I came to your house to see if we could establish a friendly, working relationship. I was obviously wrong.
I'd say so.
Oh, hell! Mouse, could you fix this slipper for me? Jeez, Margot, I've only got one pair of hands.
Oh, forget it. It's all right, Gaffney, I'll do it. I hope you've got your act together.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be a first and last performance.
For God's sake, Margot, what do you reckon you're up to?
For Christ's sake, Lizzie, piss off.
Oh, come down from there, Margot. You're going to ruin the whole bloody show. But how far do you reckon you'll get dressed like that? Oh.
Gaffney, get down from there!
Oh.
No, don't leave me alone. They can head her off. Well on the double!
Gaffney, stop! Just stop!
Warning you, Gaffney! Stop or we'll shoot!
No use, girlie. Give it up before you get yourself hurt.
Oh! Bastard!
Righto, Gaffney. Back here. Down the front. Lizzie, I'm all right. Will you stop bloody fussing around?
Take it.
All right, lads, take her out. Easy does it, easy. Come on.
Please be careful.
Will you?
Get good. I've organised an ambulance.
What's going on?
Knox good, but I think Wentworth General, right?
Thanks. I'll let Mrs. Davidson know.
Good.
Well, somebody tell me what's going on here.
Who sounded the alarm?
Officer Ferguson, sir. Nice work, Ferguson.
Crawford, perhaps you'll have the decency to tell me what this is all about.
Castle, all our numbers accounted for.
All except one, sir. Proctor. Seems he got away first.
Yes, and it would seem they used the concert as a cover.
And we nearly
Looks
got
like
away
that.
with it.
Would you get this woman out of here, Ferguson? Through the yard, not through the hall. The press, or they'll have enough trouble with explaining.
Get in there, Gaffney. You and I are going to have a little talk without any interruptions. That's the beauty of solitary, isn't it? No one can hear you.
I don't know why you're so dirty. You wanted me to wreck the concert, and I did.
But you crossed me, Gaffney. And I don't like anyone to cross me.
You pushed me into it. Between you and Powell, how could I win?
I wouldn't repeat that to anyone if I were you.
Oh, yeah? I reckon Mrs. Powell'd be real interested to know one of her screwmates wanted to bugger up something she was real keen on.
You wrecked the concert, Gaffney, not me. I tried to stop you, remember?
Okay. And don't you reckon I deserve some payoff for doing your dirty work for you?
Of course. And I've got a lot of little treats in store for you. Now, no one double-crosses me and gets away with it. So in future, you keep your mouth shut and do what I tell you, and I'll forget what I owe you. But you step out of line, and I'll give you a reward you'll never forget. Understand? Now, if I can have a word with you about page 4, Governor, you'll see that Mr. Carlson
I would be
said...
quite happy to discuss this with you later, Miss Ferguson, but I really feel I should read all the reports first. Perhaps this afternoon?
Whatever you say, Governor.
What happened? They wake up and finally sack you?
No, they didn't. They laid me off because work was a bit slack.
Oh, I don't think the parole board would be too impressed with that. What do you think, Smith?
I told you what I think. You're here and curl.
Miss Ferguson, we're wondering how Lizzie was.
Haven't got the faintest idea. I've got more to do than be worrying about escapades.
Yeah, but Lizzie wasn't trying to escape. She was too wrapped up in the concert.
What was she doing halfway up a ladder? A trapeze act?
Oh, I see. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Questions are for people, Smith. Not losers like Birdsworth.
I don't have a gut for that.
No, don't be. She's just waiting for you to make a move on her. Paddy's right, B. She's just going to ride you until you have a go at her. Then you're going to blow your parole.
Oh, all right, all right. But one of us is going to have to go.
I know what you're thinking, B, but it wasn't my fault.
Oh, no, it never is. But Lizzie's lying in hospital because of you, you selfish bitch.
But I never touched her. It was the freak.
None of it would have happened if you hadn't tried to break out. Now you're going to get the same treatment Lizzie got.
Okay. If you want to side with a bent screw against one of your mates, go ahead.
You're no mate of mine, Daphne. But if you've got something to say, get on with it.
Look, Ferguson wanted me to wreck the concert, and I knew if I didn't, I'd cop it from her, and if I did, I'd get it from all of you guys. So what else was there for me to do but go over the wall? But I didn't touch Lizzie. Honest.
Go on.
Well, Lizzie was so wrapped up in the concert, she tried to stop me, and she climbed up the ladder behind me, and Ferguson just came and knocked her off without a thought. It's the truth, B, I swear it.
You're not off the hook yet, Daphne. But now it looks like we both owe Ferguson one, doesn't it? I want to talk to you.
I'm going for a walk.
I'm still waiting for that information on my file, Fields. Now, you've had long enough in the governor's office to get it.
Look, Miss Ferguson, now that you haven't got my contract anymore, there's no point in me sticking my neck out for you. We've got nothing to trade.
You don't think so? I've still got a little bag of tricks I haven't even opened yet. Now, the wrong word in the right ear could set the women against you. Or I could have your sentence doubled. I can make your life very miserable without even laying a finger on you.
Yes, well, that knife cuts both ways. I've got my own little bag of tricks.
What's that?
Night shift again. Audrey and I together. I don't think anyone suspected.
You bitch! You broke into my house and killed my dog.
Oh, why, Miss Ferguson? I've been here all the time. All finished now, Mrs. Hall. Can I go inside now, please?
Not by yourself, Fields. See you through, Mrs. Hall. I'll take over here. What are you doing back here?
Sorry, Miss Ferguson. I forgot my riding. You looking for anything in particular?
Clean this mess up. And don't take all day.
Come on, hurry it up, please. And so begins another exciting day. Whoopee.
Oh, it's not too bad. If you get too bored, why don't you get a job in reception? Lots of interesting things happen down there.
Come along. Move it.
Mrs. Morris, what
Look, the hospital says there's no change, B. We just have to wait and see.
Okay, thanks anyway.
Fields. Don't you ever do that again.
Do what?
Try to make a fool of me in front of the other women.
Oh, I couldn't dream of that, Miss Ferguson. I mean, you do a much better job of that than me.
You're running out of time, Fields. Now, I want those diaries.
Don't worry. They're in a safe place. For now.
Just a minute, Fields. What do you got there?
Letters for the governor to sign. She's waiting for.
Well, it's all yours, B. Good
Thanks.
luck. I have to go to the print shop. Can I leave Smith with you?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Muldoon, please? Yes, it is. Thanks.
You're wasting your time, Smith.
Well, it's my time, so rack off. Hello, Mr. Muldoon. My name is Mrs. Smith. I'm ringing about the ad you had in this morning's paper. Well, I haven't worked for a while, but I've had 10 years' experience. Yes, I am, fully qualified. Well, you could certainly call me mature, yes. I thought you might be having a bit of trouble. No, I don't scare easily. Look, I think it's only fair to tell you that I'm currently serving a sentence at Wentworth Detention Centre. No, I'm due out on parole anyway. But the prison has a work release scheme, so I could start any time.
Come on, Smith, we haven't got all day.
Well, it sounds exactly like the sort of thing I'm looking for, but... What? Well, I don't know how I could reassure you. Oh, yes, actually, if you rang the governor, I'm sure she put a good word in for me. And I've just finished a job at a print shop. I think that the foreman down there would vouch for me. You will? Oh, that's marvellous. Thanks. Well, the people to contact? Yes, Mrs. Davidson. Yes, that's right, Davidson.
You off home?
No, actually, I'm going to the hospital to see how Lizzie is. Apparently, there's a no visitors rule except for officers, and I know that Judy Bryant and some of the women in here are pretty frantic.
Suppose you all think it's my fault, eh? Birdsworth getting hurt like that?
I haven't heard anyone say that.
Well, I was just doing my job, that's all. Just doing my job.
If you say so.
Excuse me. Wentworth Detention Centre.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
No, I'm sorry Mrs. Davidson isn't in. Can I help you, Mr. Muldoon?
You need any help?
Just a moment, please. No, it's just routine. You'd better hurry along. You'll miss your visiting hours.
Goodbye.
Bye. Hello, Mr. Muldoon. Sorry to keep you waiting. Yes, I see. Well, she was originally convicted for murder. Oh, I'd hardly say she's a reformed character. Well, in the past 6 months, she's had 6 reprimands for insubordination, 3 charges for disobeying an officer, and a spell in solitary confinement. No, I can appreciate your concern, but the record speaks for itself, doesn't it?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines.